Welcome to the Health Daily Show. I'm your host, Chitra Nabat. Joining us today is Greg Yap, partner Menlo Ventures. Greg, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks so much for having me.
Tell us all about Menlo Ventures and what's unique and different about your firm and investing approach.
Yes, so Menlo Ventures, we're a 46-year-old venture firm, so we're one of the originals in Silicon Valley, and we invest across a broad spectrum of technologies. Within healthcare, we really focus on the intersection of biology and technology. We call it technology-enabled bio. And we really focus there because we see some of the greatest innovations in the next century coming from this intersection where technology can really accelerate the adoption of biology. Within our firm, we really bring a diverse approach to our investing. Our firm includes ex-operators like myself who have been entrepreneurs before, who have worked in large healthcare companies. It also includes veteran investors. We also have a group called our Fuel Team, which helps support our companies with business development, with talent, with marketing, and with community. And so that group together, we really feel like brings a unique perspective to our entrepreneurs.
We're in a volatile market, recessionary. VC funding is down about 50% compared to last year highs. It's taking VC firms longer to raise less money. You started talking a little bit about it. Tell us about innovation and competitiveness that you show to your LPs.
Yeah, well, I think one of the places where we're really innovating is really at this new, what we think is this new frontier of bio and tech, right? Where it brings it together, these innovations in digital health, innovations in therapeutics, innovations in genomics. I think there are some really great and amazing new companies there that are different from the companies that have come before that will be created at this intersection. I think another place where we're trying to really innovate is in the partners that we work with and the entrepreneurs that we work with. Right, a group of folks who are very mission driven, really passionate about what they're doing, and then also really are thoughtful about how do they bring innovation that will improve healthcare, reduce overall healthcare costs, but also be able to get paid for in the world that we live in today.
If you can double click, triple click on that, in terms of, and taking us a little bit into your pattern recognition, into your playbook, right? You talk broad strokes about founders, companies that you invest in. What are some of those more specific metrics, attributes that cause you to invest?
So for me, I'm a former operator. I spent 20 years in operating roles as an entrepreneur, as an executive at bigger companies, and I was always, as a operator, always about product, technology, market fit. Right, that was my kind of superpower as an operator. That's kind of the lens that I bring to the investments that I make and to the entrepreneurs that I work with. And so that's the first step for me. Right, is the company that I'm talking to in diligence, is there a real potential for their technology, for their product, for their service to be able to truly impact healthcare, right? To be able to truly make outcomes better. Secondly, does it reduce costs, right? It has to be able to do both. And then, as I was mentioning before, really the diligence, can they actually get paid for in the world that we live in, right? We are kind of stuck in between kind of fee-for-service and value-based care today, right? There's still a tremendous drive towards value-based care, but still a lot that's tied up in fee-for-service. And so we're really trying to look for companies that effectively can get paid for in both worlds, right? That can be successful in the world we still live in, right? Which is still predominantly fee-for-service, but also in the world that we hope for and aspire to and expect, right? Which is much more value-based.
So you talked a little bit about founders and business models that show potential for impact, reducing cost of care. There's many entrepreneurs, founders out there, many at this conference who want to sharpen their pitch books when they come to present to you. So what are some of those metrics or specifics that they should really try to hit when talking to you?
Yeah, so I do think it is, we've gone into much more difficult macroeconomic and much more uncertain macroeconomic times, right? And so I do think it's fair to say that the investing community as a whole, both public and private, in the last few years really rewarded growth, right, at all costs in many respects. And I think today it's much more around growth with positive unit economics, right? The efficiency of growth is paramount, right? Being able to show that you can really deliver the improvements in costs that are promised, but not necessarily always kind of pushed out into the future. Now it's what can you do for me today? Can you really show that this actually delivers a benefit, but does it for a return on investment that's positive for the customer?
Greg, leadership in life, in business, there are rules, norms, codes.
Yeah.
Where have you been a code breaker in your career or business, how did you do it?
Yeah. Well, for me, I've been in healthcare my whole career. Starting from the early days of genomics. And I do think I've been different from a lot of both healthcare investors and healthcare entrepreneurs, and I've worked across many different market segments. Everything from drug development to molecular diagnostics to tools and technologies to digital health, to lots of, and now to investing, right? And I feel like that's actually been one of my big advantages that I've had, is that having had a chance to work across many different industries, which felt very awkward at the time, going from one industry to a different one. The common thread was always kind of new technologies into healthcare and life sciences, but I didn't realize it at the time, but it really sets me up to have a broad mandate as an investor, because these are all areas that I've had some operating background. I invest really in the places where I've had some operational background, and that's really been the benefit of having had a chance to work across lots of different sectors of healthcare.
Greg, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.